Spaghetti sauce oozed down my chest, their laughter slicing through me like a rusty blade, and I knew this wasn't a slip-up. That's how it crashed into my life. Me, Malik Turner, 14, a black kid in a mostly white school, standing in the cafeteria with a tray shaking in my hands and shame burning my skin. 1 second, I was just another nobody trying to eat lunch. The next, I was their whipping boy, soaked in sauce and spotlight. But this isn't just about a spill. It's about what happens when you corner a quiet kid until he roars. Hang on tight. This story's got blood, guts, and a fight you won't forget. It was Thursday, October 17th, a crisp fall day in Jefferson, Ohio, where the leaves outside Jefferson Middle School glowed gold and crimson. But inside, the air was thick with the stale hum of fluorescent lights and the sour tang of teenage tension. I'm Malik Turner, 14, a skinny black kid with a fresh fade, a backpack slung with dreams of bridges and skyscrapers, and a habit of keeping my head down. I wasn't loud like the jocks or slick like the rich kids. I stuck to my notebooks, sketching engineering designs, plotting a way out of this dead-end town. School was my ticket, my ladder, but lately it felt more like a cage, every corner hiding a jab, every stare a silent shove. Being one of maybe 10 black kids in a sea of white faces didn't help. It painted a target on me I couldn't scrub off. Lunch was my daily gauntlet. The cafeteria was a jungle, cliques staking tables like warlords, jocks flexing by the soda machines, popular girls giggling over Instagram, nerds trading Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and hushed whispers. I didn't belong anywhere. My best friend, Jaden, bailed to Cleveland last summer, leaving me a lone wolf, claiming the same corner table by the window where I could eat my PB&J and lose myself in pencil lines. That day, I grabbed my usual sandwich from home, a bruised apple, a milk carton, and slid into my spot, the chatter a dull roar I'd trained myself to ignore. Outside, the sky hung gray, clouds swollen with rain that refused to fall, heavy like the knot in my gut. I was halfway through my sandwich, sketching a truss bridge, beams angled, supports firm, when I heard them. Footsteps, loud and cocky, slicing through the noise like a knife through butter. I didn't look up. I'd learned that looking invited trouble. But then came the snicker, sharp, mean a sound I knew too well, and my stomach dropped like a rock. It was Ethan Carver, 15, a broad-shouldered white kid with a buzz cut and a smirk that could rot teeth, the ringleader of a pack who'd been gunning for me since I smoked them in a math quiz last month. Behind him trailed Ryan and Kyle, his shadows, all three in faded football jerseys, a trio of wolves and scuffed Nikes. "Yo, Malik," Ethan drawled, stopping a foot from my table, his tray tilted just enough to make my spine tingle. "Eating alone again? What's up, no friends?" I kept my eyes on my notebook, pencil digging harder, the lead carving grooves. "Just eating," I muttered, voice low, praying they'd bounce. They never did. "Right," Ethan said, louder, pulling eyes from nearby tables. "Guess nobody wants to sit with you. Smells probably why." Ryan snorted a wet, ugly laugh, and Kyle mumbled something freak I caught, maybe worse. I gripped my pencil so tight it stung, though it bite in my palm, but I stayed down. Not yet. Then a hit, fast, deliberate, no accident. Ethan's tray tipped, and a flood of spaghetti crashed into me, sauce splattering my gray hoodie, noodles slithering down my chest like worms. The milk carton followed, a cold splash soaking my jeans, pooling on the floor in a white puddle. The cafeteria detonated, laughter roaring like a storm, gasps, a few oh shits from the back. Ethan stepped back, hands up, grinning like a jackass. "Oops, my bad, dude. Slip." "Yeah." Ryan piped up, choking on his laugh. "Looks better on you. Matches the trash vibe." I stood, tray trembling in my hands, sauce dripping onto the tiles with soft, wet plops. My face burned, my heart slamming so hard I could feel it in my throat. 200 kids stared, some cackling, some whispering, all watching. Teachers at the far end sipped coffee, blind to it all. I wanted to vanish, to melt into the floor, but my legs froze. "It wasn't a slip," I said, voice quivering but cutting through. Ethan's grin stretched, predatory. "What, you gonna cry about it? Go clean up, freak." The trio turned, high-fiving, strutting off like they'd won the Super Bowl, leaving me a drenched, humiliated wreck. I dropped the tray, PB&J, a soggy ruin, apple rolling under a chair, and bolted, shoving through the double doors, sauce smearing my hands as I swiped at my face. The bathroom was empty, tiles echoing my ragged breaths. I locked myself in a stall, chest heaving, staring at the red streaks staining my hoodie. Tears stung, hot and fast, but I blinked them back, slamming my fist against the wall, twice until my knuckles throbbed. Don't cry. Don't let them win. I've been called names, loser, poor kid, that black boy, but this? This was a public lynching, a spotlight on every insecurity I'd ever buried. The bell shrieked, mocking me, but I didn't move. Couldn't. My phone buzzed, Mom. How's school, baby? I stared at it, thumbs locked. How do you tell your mom, who works doubles at the hospital to pay our rent, that her kid's a laughingstock? How do you say you're drowning in sauce and shame? I sat there replaying it. Ethan's smirk, the laughs, the milk soaking my jeans. Rage bubbled, raw and jagged, clawing on my throat. I wasn't trash. I wasn't nothing. But right then, I felt like less than dirt. I skipped English, hiding in the library instead, curled behind the history stacks with my damp hoodie and a pounding skull. Miss Carter, the librarian, black, gray streaks in her braids, eyes soft but piercing, found me. Malik? You okay, honey? She asked, voice low like she saw right through me. I shrugged, the stain dark on my chest. Just needed quiet. She didn't push, just handed me a tissue and a book, The Outsiders. You're not alone, you know, she said, patting my shoulder before drifting off. I flipped the pages, Pony Boy's words blurring into mine. Outsiders, fighting to matter. I wasn't alone, maybe, but it felt like a hollow lie. Dismissal came, and I'd scrubbed most of the sauce off in the bathroom, but the stain clung, a shadow I couldn't shake. I kept my head down, dodging stares, until Ethan's voice sliced through by the lockers. There's our spaghetti boy, he shouted, his crew cackling. Kids slowed, phones out, filming. My fist balled, nails digging into my palms, but I walked away, their taunts, run, freak, chasing me to the bus. Home was a duplex on Elm Street, paint peeling, roof sagging, but ours. Mom was at work, so I let myself in, dropped my bag, and collapsed on the couch. The silence screamed, the stain glaring like a neon sign. I grabbed a rag, scrubbed until my knuckles bled, but it wouldn't fade. That's when it snapped, anger, wild and alive, surging through me like a current. I wasn't letting this slide. Not this time. Friday, I went back, swapping the hoodie for a clean black shirt, my notebook clutched like a shield. Ethan's crew lounged by the cafeteria doors, smirking like they owned me. Ready for round 2, Malik? Kyle called, twirling a milk carton. I froze, pulse racing, but then I saw her, Jasmine Evans, a quiet black girl from math, watching from the edge. She didn't laugh yesterday. She nodded slight like she got it. I walked past them, chin up, and claimed my table. They didn't follow, not yet. But lunch wasn't over. Halfway through my apple, Ethan swaggered over, tray piled with mashed potatoes, gravy dripping. Missed a spot yesterday, he said, raising it high. I stood fast, chair clattering. Try it, I said, voice steady, ringing out. The room hushed. Ethan faltered, tray wobbling. Go ahead, dump it, see what happens. He laughed, nervous, forced, and swung. I dodged, potatoes splattering the floor, and lunged, grabbing his collar, slamming him against the table. Kids gasped, phones up. I'm not your joke, I growled, shoving harder. Ryan and Kyle charged, yanking me back, but I swung, fist cracking Kyle's jaw before Mr. Hayes, the gym teacher, hauled us apart. Office. Now. Hayes roared, dragging me and Ethan down the hall. My knuckles throbbed, blood hot in my veins, but I didn't care. Idiot. Principal Dawson's office was a beige tomb, diplomas glaring, coffee stale. Ethan sat smug, me seething, Hayes pacing. What happened? Dawson asked, glasses slipping. He attacked me. Ethan lied, pointing. Unprovoked. He dumped food on me yesterday. I snapped, voice shaking. Today, too. I'm done. Dawson frowned, tapping his desk. Proof. Ask anyone, I said. They've got it on video. He sighed, sent Hayes to check, and we waited, Ethan smirking, me burning. Hayes returned with Jasmine, braids swinging, clutching her phone. I recorded yesterday, she said, quiet but firm. She played it. Ethan's trash vibe, jab, the spill, the laughs. Dawson's jaw tightened. Ethan, detention. 2 weeks. Apologize, he said, sharp. Ethan muttered a weak sorry, but I didn't need it. Jasmine's eyes, steady, proud, meant more. Monday, the video was everywhere. Kids whispering spaghetti Malik, but the tone shifted. Some fist bumped me, others glare, but Ethan's crew shrank, their edge dulled. I wasn't invisible anymore. Weeks rolled, tension easing. I sat with Jasmine sometimes. She sketched birds, shared her pencils. Miss Carter gave me books, said, "You got fire, Malik. Channel it." I started a robotics club. Jasmine joined, then Malik from gym, a tall black kid with a shy grin. We built a bot, a clunky thing with wheels, and enter a local contest. November 9th, we won. 3rd place, a scratched-up trophy, but mine. I held it, chest tight, pride swelling. Then came the escalation. December hit cold and gray, and Ethan wasn't done. I caught him glaring in halls, his crew whispering. One Tuesday, I found my locker trashed, books ripped, freak scrawled in marker, spaghetti sauce smeared inside like a sick encore. Kids snickered as I cleaned it, Jasmine helping, her silence loud. "They're scared of you now," she said, wiping red goo. "That's why." Scared. I scoffed, but her words stuck. That afternoon, in robotics, Ethan and Ryan corner me by the shop room. No phones, no witnesses. "Think you're hot shit now," Ethan hissed, shoving me into a workbench. Tools clattered. Ryan grabbed my bot, our bot, and smashed it, gears crunching. I snapped. "You're nothing," I yelled, charging Ethan, fist flying. He hit back, a punch grazing my cheek, but I tackled him, slamming him into a shelf. Ryan pulled me off, but Jasmine burst in, screaming for Mr. Hayes. The teacher stormed over, breaking it up, Ethan bleeding from a split lip, me bruised but standing. Dawson's office again. Ethan's mom there, shrill, demanding suspension. "He's a menace," she screeched, pointing at me. My mom arrived, scrubs wrinkled, eyes blazing. "My son's not the problem," she said, voice steel. "Yours is." Jasmine showed the locker video. She'd filmed it secretly. Dawson watched, silent, then expelled Ethan for vandalism, bullying, the works. His mom stormed out, but Mom hugged me, whispering, "You're enough, Malik." January thawed the frost. Ethan gone, the air lightened. Robotics rebuilt, better, stronger. But the fight wasn't over. February brought a new twist. Kyle, still bitter, rallied a clique to sabotage me. One Friday, I found my robotics project trashed again. Wires cut, motors smashed. Right before regionals. A note taped inside. "Stay down, freak." Kids whispered, eyes darting, but no proof pointed to Kyle. I sank onto a shop stool, staring at the wreckage, chest hollow. Why me? The question looped, heavy, because I was black? Because I dared her eyes? Jasmine found me, kneeling by the mess. "We'll fix it," she said, firm. "They don't win." We worked all night. Jasmine, Malik from gym, me soldering, taping, rebuilding. My hands shook, rage and exhaustion warring, but their quiet faith kept me going. Mom brought pizza at midnight, her tired smile a lifeline. "You're tougher than them," she said, squeezing my shoulder. Regionals hit, a gym packed with teams, our bot rolling out patched but fierce. We took second, a silver plaque gleaming. Kyle glared from the stands, but I held that trophy high, his hate bouncing off me. Spring brought the talent show, and I signed up, nerves electric. On stage, I soldered a mini bridge, explaining tension and load while Jasmine ran lights, Malik from gym on sound. The crowd, 300 kids, parents, teachers, watched quiet, then roared when I finished bridge standing tall. Ethan's old crew sat mute. Mom clapped hardest, tears shining. Later, she pulled me close. "You're my engineer," she said, voice breaking. I grinned, the stain of memory, replaced by solder and steel. They tried to bury me, but I'd risen, built something unbreakable, something they'd never touch. Summer came, and I got a letter, engineering camp, full ride, based on my robotics wins. I showed Mom, her eyes wet. Told you, she said. They can't stop you. I looked at my bridge sketch, taped to my wall, and felt it, power mine, forged from every shove, every spill.